We're live streaming a beach wedding in Punta Cana, Dominican Republic, and we're going to be using a phone with EventLive app. We're going to be working out the best sound options and the best internet options, and we'll be talking to you about the best locations, where to put your live streaming device, and the best angles, how to stay out of the way of other professionals. You're going to want to mount your phone somewhere, so it could be a tripod, a video tripod like we have here, or it could be a simple light stand. We recommend to use a simple light stand because it's lighter and it's going to be taking less space in a crowded area like this. To mount the phone, you really have two options. So it can be a simple phone mount. These only cost around $10. You just screw it on. It's best if it's a bit adjustable so you can align the angle. The only downside with this is if you put a light stand on an uneven surface, then it's not going to be perfectly aligned. Or you could use a gimbal, such as this DJI Osmo 4, and you can just mount it the same way. So the advantage of using a gimbal is that even if you move your light stand quickly, it will keep your picture even and horizontal. Before you start your live stream, when you arrive at the location, you just want to run a speed test just to know what you're dealing with here. So we're using the LTE connection, and we're just opening the speed test app by Ookla, and we're running a speed test. So first it's showing you the download speed, and as you can see, it's really high at 100 megabits per second. And after doing this for a few seconds, it's going to start showing you the upload speed. So it's showing us the upload speed of 3.6 megabits, and it's not much. When you're working with the app, you want it at least 3 megabits per second. When you're working with other professional equipment, you have an opportunity to choose a different bitrate, and you want your upload speed to be at least twice the bitrate that you choose. So when you're doing live streaming professionally, you really want to have a backup internet connection. So in this case, our backup is this MiFi style modem, and our primary internet is this LTE, and we also have the Wi-Fi at the location as an option. So we want to run the speed test on all three of them to see which upload speed is better for you. If you're dealing with a few connections that are not ideal, you can also bond them using an app like Speedify. In this case, you can use one source like your iPhone LTE and another source like Wi-Fi from your little router, and bond them so that your connection is more stable. So we're repeating the speed test using all of our internet connections, and if there is one that gives you much better upload speed, then you can just use that one instead. So we're actually getting 5 megabits on this one, so this might be what we'll be using. Also keep in mind whether you're inside or outside matters, or how close you are to the Wi-Fi router also really matters. So if you're planning on using venue's Wi-Fi, you need to be testing the upload speed right by the ceremony location, not where the internet is, to get the right results. And also keep in mind, as the guests are arriving, they might be connecting to the Wi-Fi, and more vendors might be using the Wi-Fi, and your signal may become worse as the ceremony starts. So this is why it's wise to bring your own source of the internet. So far we've worked out the light stand part. So far we've set up our gimbal, we've set on using the iPhone, and now we're gonna be talking about the sound. In certain situations, you can just use the microphone that iPhone already has, especially if it's not too windy or you're working inside. But for more tricky situations like here, where we're working with the wind and it's outdoors and it's loud, we really wanna be using something like this wireless microphones from Rode. So this Rode Wireless Go microphones, they're a set of wireless microphones. We actually here we have 2 transmitters and 1 receiver. It's great to have 2 for extra backup. We're going to be connecting this to the iPhone, and in order to connect it to the iPhone properly, you're going to need a couple of cables. So first you're going to need this Lightning to audio jack converter that you can get from Apple for about $10. And then you're going to need the right type of the audio cable that your smartphone supports. Please keep the close attention to this, as there is one that your iPhone will support and the other that is more for cameras. So you can clip your Rode Wireless Go, connect the Lightning end to your iPhone, and then plug it in the Rode. And now we can just mic up the bride and groom. So we're here on the beach, so it's important to check what kind of speed you're getting right on location. Now we're getting about 6 megabits per second, so it should be perfectly fine because it's twice as much as you need for the live streaming with the app. Now we can just rotate the app horizontally, and you can run a free test event with EventLive. So you just enter the app and do a test event, and the app is going to show you what kind of signal if you're getting a good signal. It just says the good signal right there. So now we're live streaming live at a wedding, and we have our phone on a gimbal on a little light stand, and as you can see, we're on the sand, and it's easy to move it around smoothly, and when you put it down on the surface, it stays even. So you can also monitor the wireless go, and you can see the signal strength from each one of your transmitters, just to check on things. We're currently shooting the guests as they arrive. So when the wedding party gets here, we can easily change the angle by rotating it here to show more of the space. So it keeps your movement really smooth as you pan around. And the app is recording a 1080p copy. So the ceremony is ongoing and the live stream is working perfectly. We're using the Rode wireless microphones and they're performing well. But if you rather simplify your setup, you can also opt in for this Rode Video Micro. As you can see, this setup is great for live streaming weddings. It's simple enough to set up, even if you're working by yourself as a photographer or a videographer, or if you're working in a team. We've got here the wireless microphone with 2 transmitters and a backup, and we also have a gimbal, so you can freely move the setup and have this smooth shot. We have the iPhone, which is great because it has 3 different lenses and the HDR picture quality. This setup is simple enough, so you can move it around following the action. You can also put it down on the sand or an even surface and it'll stay nice and horizontal. Don't forget about the backup internet source, the backup audio, and the backup is going to be saved on your phone. Don't forget to wipe the lenses of the phone before you start the live stream. You're all set to go. Have a happy live stream.